Welcome to part 5 of this series where we try to see if we can restore this 1992 Winnebago Lesharo for cheaper than buying a used beat-up delivery van. The main problem that we had so far was mainly concerning a whole bunch of leaks, and well, we started by removing the interior trims to see if we could locate where they came from. Unfortunately, it seems like it all came from topside, and there were so many mistakes that we've decided that we were going to remove everything and basically create a brand new roof. So to be able to do that, we tried to get as far as possible back to the metal, and we removed all the roof hardware. We also patched a whole bunch of holes, cleaned everything up, primed everything also. And once everything was cleaned up and primed, we've applied a waterproofing membrane. Now we need to put a second membrane on top of that to protect it from the UVs. But now that it's waterproof, let's just take a break from the roof and try to see if one of our other project is gonna work. So let's start that. Ça c'est étrange comment c'est fait. Here's a quick comparison of the old seats versus the new seats that we are going to install. These come from a 1998 Rialta, and well, they look much larger, but I think the base is the same, so there's a good chance that it will fit. The base of the old seat seems to be about the same dimension as the new seats. A test fit will confirm that. And it did. Unfortunately, we had to remove the front seat to be able to get the back seat in place because they wouldn't fit in the RV door. I've temporarily installed the seats there just to make sure that everything was fitting correctly. And it seems like it's pretty good. Turns out that Rialta seats actually are almost identical in terms of floor space that they take, and well, all the screw holes are at the same place. So I mean, guys, if you have a Lesharo and would like to upgrade your seats, Rialta is probably the way to go. Thank you. Just testing the fit for the MaxxFann. Seems like the hole's the right size. The only difference is the corners there. They're more rectangle on this one versus the one that was there originally, so we have to adjust it slightly. There you go. Obviously, less than a millimeter. Okay, let's find a solution. IKEA cutting board. Always a nice rut-free spacer that we can use almost everywhere. So we can now start to map out where everything is going to go on the roof. As soon as we install the second layer, we'll be able to install them. So I'm looking at installing one solar panel over there. That's a 100-watt panel. I have a second 100-watt panel right here that could fit. The future AC is going to be somewhere here. And I think I may have enough space around here to put another panel, but I'm not sure about it. So I'm gonna know when I have the AC template, if we install an AC. Today we're gonna try to finish all the roof and the associated hardware, so that's why I got a whole bunch of things here, which I plan on either installing or deciding it won't go on this RV and maybe on another project. So let's get going. I need some screws.
est moins. Il ne faut vraiment pas que ça colle un sur l'autre.
Ouais, j'imagine.
C'est bien important.
Tu pèses bien fort.
Celui-là est plus pesant, fait que c'est moins pire. Je te garantis que celui-là qui est loué la dernière fois n'avait pas besoin de peser.
So I'm gonna start by first adding some butyl tape just to create a seal on that plumbing vent, and then on top of that I'll have to screw it down in the roof, and after that we have to seal the top side. Dicor is not compatible with that type of membrane, so we are going to use Ethernabond instead.
Bon.
Done. Here's a bunch of spacers. Now let's go put that fan there. So I've used a spacer here. Right underneath what you have is some butyl tape. And now I will fasten everything with some machine screws that you can see right here. I will use some luck nuts that I have in my ratchet right now. And from the outside, this is what it looks like. So that socket's actually too deep right now, so what I did, I put a luck nut underneath and then another one on top so that it's very flush, and then I'm able to screw them in. There we go, not more than that for now. So I'm gonna try to clear out some of the foams around where the screws are, put a luck nut in every single one of them, and after that I will fasten everything up. So the frame is now fully installed, and technically it should already be completely waterproof. However, these screws will eventually rust or do something that is going to allow water to get in the thread. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some Eternabond on top of this. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to put two layers, one like this and the other one like that on top of the first one, so that water will not get in the seat. And there you go. All that's needed is to make sure that it still works. And I actually ran out of tape right here. I'm gonna add another layer as soon as I go get some more. Yep, quite happy about that. There you go, guys, it's all installed. I just took the protective plastic off. And beside that piece of tape I want to add here, we're pretty much done. Time for the next job. Okay. Ooh. Yuck. So that's why it was smelly. This is a control for the cab air conditioner. It's not working at this time, but as you can see, we have a vent over here, and that's just a gaping hole. All those vents are identical, so I actually managed to find a replacement vent in a pile of parts. So we're gonna put this back in, and there you go. So now let's continue to disassemble the headliner. I want to disassemble this because we're currently prepping for paint, and we may change the color of this because, as you can see, it has yellowed with time. Although it was a bit yellow to begin with, but you can clearly see a difference between where it was not exposed and where it was exposed. So we're probably going to paint all of that unified color. Okay, so we had some rat's nest over here. Just wanted to inspect the AC system here. It doesn't so far look that bad. We'll see with those mouse poo if we have any chewed wire, and well, let's get on with it. I just don't want people to think that I'm willingly removing the seat belts. If I could avoid it, I would, but it seems like unless I remove this piece of trim, I'm not able to take the headliner off. Well, it's going to give us the opportunity to repaint these the same color as that. So, yeah. I got all the proper tools and the torque specs to put them back in, so that's great. Yep, some serious bolts you have here. And seat belt is gone. Well, that's one useless coax cable. Oh, interesting. So this appears to be some insulation that they've put there. We have seen this insulation on the headliner where it was all falling apart. Here, it seems like it's much better. You have some bits and pieces and almost 40 years old of garbage in the corner there. And just if you guys are interested by this, this appears to be a dryer. So I guess that's a dryer for the air conditioner. And this is yeah, this is pretty beat up. I'll see what I do with that. Oh, interesting here. You can see the original chassis. This is where the cutaway was. And that 12-volt plug here, it's just going right through the roof here. Well, we'll see where that goes. But I fully plan on getting rid of this 12-volt and TV outlet there. We're probably going to put a 110 or, you know, another type of outlet. Because let's just face it, there will never be any TVs here. Okay, onward. There goes the headliner. Whew. PU. Oh, that stinks. Whew. Okay, I guess we had people living in there for a while. Well, time to clean all of that up and inspect what we have on top. Okay, if I can just show you this here. These are the ducts that are used for the AC, and they're holding together with tape. And that tape is very, very brittle right now, so not a bad thing that we can replace it. Fortunately for you guys, you're not in smell-o-vision, because right now it stinks in here. Like, it's pretty bad. So believe it or not, we were able to retrieve all the different trims. We didn't break anything more than it was already broken. And well, just to tell you to take all of this out, you can't go through that door there. You have to go through that door here. And unfortunately, that means that I had to drop everything that could fall apart from the trim itself directly on the floor to bring it vertical. Now this thing here, I think that this is the filter for the AC return. But I'll tell you, if you ever tackle this, please wear gloves. I feel completely disgusting right now. All of the trim parts are now outside the RV. We're gonna give them a very good clean before we put them back in. Just a quick hint, these and these, this is basically screwed on the trim inside. And what you have to do to undo them was not to remove the tape like I did. You just have to unscrew them. So, well, I'm gonna know it for the next time. But at this point, I doubt that there will be a next time. A quick note, our little friend actually used some pitch here also. So I have no idea why there is tar underneath the headliner, but it seems like that's a thing. I've also removed this here, which was where the TV connection was. We are gonna put a 110 plug instead over there, because there will never be a TV in there. So that's another opportunity that we have. And that plank of wood right here, that little velvet almost jeans looking thing there. I think that they've put this over there so they could service certain parts of the air conditioner, because this is where the dryer is exactly. And also you clearly notice now that this piece actually yellowed with time. This is where the outlet was, and well, there's a clear difference between the two locations. That's the end of the day, guys. This was a hell of a lot of work. And I've started to clean everything that's there, but I don't see anything else, so you'll have to wait another day. Lots of rat nests. I found 2 big ones, and now we're starting to see what looks like some engines, actually some electrical motors that power fans. And I'm starting to get an idea on how this air conditioner system works. That's actually pretty ingenious. Whoever made that. I guess before we do anything with it, I'll take the time to explain how it was designed. And yeah, we'll pick it up from there. So painting prep is getting ready. I still have this thing to get rid of, that stove to get rid of. Then we'll start to get ready to prime everything. And of course we're going to remove the seats before we do all of that. So on that note for today, this was Leeway Model. I hope everyone had a very good day, and I'll speak to you soon. Leeway Model out.